Hi, it's Jane with the Compassion Project, and I am here today with Lynn Shaffer from Newport Richey, Florida. Say hi, Lynn. I am excited to chat with Lynn today. You can tell in the background, she's an artist there, and I am from a family of artists myself. Yeah, so excited. So, Lynn has lived with her husband Robert for 15 years, and together they have a beautiful combined family of 5 grown children and 8 grandchildren.
Yeah.
So lucky. What is
Yes.
the age range of your grandchildren?
Well, one is going off to college this year, and then our littlest one will be 5. So
Oh,
we have quite a range.
so nice.
Really blessed.
I love being a grandma.
Me,
So, Lynn, it truly is joy, hey, being a grandma.
it absolutely is. I shamefully posted some of my grandchildren's art up there as well. So I hope they
Aw,
see that
I
because
love it.
it is something that we share together, which is
Yeah,
special.
yeah. So Lynn is a beautiful, kind-hearted woman with a very high faith and a heart to serve others. She is very involved with her church, the Gulf View Grace Church, and she's very involved with her community. She really does make a difference. So she looks after 2 of her grandchildren 2 days a week, and 3 days a week she works at the pantry for her church, distributing food for the less fortunate. And you have served up to 300 people, haven't you?
Absolutely. During this coronavirus, the pandemic, we became the distribution point for our West Pasco County, and so our volume went from serving 150 families to 300 families, which
Wow.
once translated to almost 4,000 people coming to our pantry, which is amazing. It's an amazing opportunity to touch that many people.
Yeah, to give back that way. So were you working in this pantry before? Like,
We were. My husband and I became facilitators. It'd be almost 2 years, and we love it. And we work with 20 or 25 amazing volunteers, um, and it requires 3-4 days a week to get ready for our pantry on Friday. So tomorrow's our pantry day.
oh, okay.
But
Wow.
today we set up and we deliver to our shut-ins on Thursdays, and so each day it's a little bit different. But
That's amazing.
yeah, it's just God directed me here. We used to live in Sarasota, and I'm just amazed that I ended up in Newport Richey. Neighbors brought us to Gulfview Grace. We love the church. We get baptized there, my husband and I together, which was so special. And
Oh,
then
wow.
yeah, and then an opportunity came for us to um, facilitate the food pantry, and we said absolutely, because we had committed ourselves to a life to serve Christ, and there was the opportunity. So, but we were able to take our business knowledge because both of us are entrepreneurs in our previous lives and pour it into pantry. So, we had the basic tools. To work in pantry, but it's such an amazing experience.
Wow.
I just love the
So
ministry.
how long ago did you start working in the pantry? Like, not to do with the coronavirus, but how long were you doing?
It's been about 2 years. It'll be 2 years this fall that we've been the directors of pantry. My husband
Wow.
was volunteering there prior to that, and I was working in other ministries in the church. But then when we became the directors, then we started working together. He's a big picture person. I'm a details person, so we balance.
Okay. That works.
Yeah.
So I'm curious to know, just because I'm in Canada, I like to hear what's happening in other cities. What is happening in your area right now with the virus? Like, has it, has it spread quite a bit? Is a lot of cases, or what's happening?
The big cities around us, we're very close to Tampa.
Okay.
They Hillsborough County has had a lot of cases, not quite as much as I think the Miami area, but anytime you have that dense population, I think we're kind of a smaller town, and even our whole county hasn't been affected as badly as some of the other areas in Florida. But um, anyone who's affected, whether it's 300 people or 3,000 people, it's still, this has touched everyone's life in some way, even if you were lucky enough to not be to get ill.
Yeah.
It's just affected our finances and our ability to connect with other people. And I think it's been a very high stress, high anxiety time for a lot of people. And it's really, that's why I love your project, because I think it really gives people a chance to say, oh, you feel that way too. So it's not just me.
Yeah.
So this is a great way to stay in touch with people and let you know how different people are coping and what's happening in different areas. So
I know. How has it changed your life? Like, did you have things planned, like trips or
yeah,
anything coming?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I have my youngest son lives in Denver, and every Mother's Day I go to visit him. And so we weren't able to do that. We're hoping to maybe go out in October, which is a beautiful time, but it's been a year now since I've seen him, and I just don't like that we spend that much time apart.
Yeah.
And then, just different activities. It's really been surreal. I don't know about you, but when all of this was happening, I kept thinking, well, this can't last long. I mean, this will be a temporary situation. And I remember the last time that I saw my grandkids, Sophie and Ollie, and we knew we were going to be taking a break. And I think we both cried. We all cried
Yeah.
when we said goodbye. And then it just kept extending and extending. And I understand, that need, but it's been difficult. And I feel for our seniors who are so at risk that they have even less. At least Pantry has allowed us to stay somewhat in touch with people.
Yeah.
But those in assisted living, and I'm sure you have come across those people. I that sense of isolation
Yeah.
it's really difficult.
Well, even my parents, because my parents are in a retirement community, but it is because there's about 300 residents in there, they've had to put, like, they're not really allowed to go out.
Okay.
So they don't have the freedom to just leave, and they have to make sure the virus doesn't spread there, because it would be crazy.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So you have to teach the seniors how to use FaceTime, because my mom was like, with the great grandchildren,
Yeah.
she's got to see the baby and the little boy. So my mom has gotten so good at FaceTime
Yeah.
that she'll just randomly FaceTime you. I'm like, I'm not ready to.
Well, good for her.
Oh yeah,
I
she loves
had
it.
my first Zoom chat. It's like, I have no idea what I'm doing here. So,
Yeah, we have to. Yeah, we have to help the seniors and connect, and it's about connecting. So for you then, in going to this pantry that's at the church, so do you just have to wear masks and be very careful, or how do you do that?
we do. We had to change the operations at Pantry. We used to invite all of our families in, and we'd have a hospitality time, a time to connect and get to know each other, and share each other's stories and pray together, which was really special. That obviously had to go away. And we went to a drive-through. So now
Oh,
where they normally would be allowed to shop for their own food, now they get a pre-packaged box of food. Um, and our staff at the church has stepped in, and they are actually the ones on the front line. They are the ones, because a lot of us volunteers are getting towards that or in the high risk range where we shouldn't be in contact with too many other people. So our staff stepped up. Our pastors are actually putting the food in the cars, and some of our youth are helping. It has just been an amazing experience to see our church just pull together and all work.
yeah, everyone come together and help.
And
Hey.
Absolutely. So we do wear masks and we try to social distance inside. So we're not elbow to elbow and just keeping everybody safe. And some of our volunteers who might be really high risk, are still staying at home until we feel it's safe. And then hopefully we can invite everybody back in and be a family again.
Yeah, wow. So at least you get to see your two grandchildren.
Now I do. It was a few weeks, I think it may have been around Mother's Day that we finally were allowed to see each other again. Um, Prior to that, I promised them that I would send them a video. So I started making stop motion videos for them about with remember the old fashioned little people? Um,
Yes, I
right?
saw that on your Facebook page. I was like, what
I
is she
would,
doing?
those were for my grandchildren to keep us connected.
Cute.
So,
Oh, look at someone just posted.
uh,
Oh, it's true. Ah, that's so true. See? So, okay, now let's talk about your painting. Super excited to
sure.
talk about this.
Okay.
So, because you started this finger painting during this pandemic, was something new you decided to try?
Absolutely. And I have to give a shout out to my friend Hope because
Hope.
she was Hope. I love you, Hope. Um, yeah, we were both going to do this 100-day project, and you could choose any if you wanted to do calligraphy, if you want to do photography, anything
Okay,
that
wait a second. Wait a second. So, a 100-day project, who came up with the idea to do a 100-day project?
that was actually a Facebook thing, the 100-day
Oh,
project.
oh.
So I saw it on her Facebook feed, and I thought, well, what is this? I looked at it, and I said, well, that's interesting. We're going to have some time on our hands, so um, maybe I'll try that. And I think I said to her, I don't know what to do. I have a background in art way back in high school, but it's been dormant for quite some time. Other than designing a set for VBS, I don't use my art very often in real life. So Hope said, you need to look at Iris Scott. She does finger painting. And I thought, well, that's odd. And I looked her up and look her up. She is amazing. She's a
What's her name?
Iris Scott. And
Iris, Iris.
uh-huh.
Iris. I'm not gonna look up now and put her name in here. Iris Scott, and she does finger painting.
She's a professional. I think she's the only professional finger painter. She does these amazing, amazing works. There you go.
Huh. Someone put, look at Lynn is amazing.
Oh,
Hope. So are you, Hope?
so
Get Hope on here. Okay, this fascinates me because I thought, oh, she had to be doing finger painting for years and just started finger painting dogs or
no,
animals. No, it was brand
I've
new thing to
never
try.
tried it, and it was so fun and really awkward. And my first painting was odd. I took a photograph that I had done and said, well, I'll take that. It looks like it might, transfer into a painting fairly easily. But painting with these as opposed to a brush, which I never had a real aptitude with painting to begin with. I was always kind of illustration or things like that, pen and ink. So painting was never really my thing. And so then painting with fingers was really odd. But so I think I have.
You are like, okay, honestly, Lynn, you are so talented.
So
You're,
this first one, and it's kind of odd and funky.
oh, that's your first one.
That was my first one.
Now look at the easel behind you. My God, that's
And yeah, so that's what I started with. And then I started doing pets, my grand pets. We lost Zeus, who was a beautiful, beautiful dog. We lost him last year. My son up in Georgia, that was his dog. And so I did one of Zeus and I sent that to him. And then my son in Denver has a beautiful cat and I sent that to him. And the more I did, the easier it got. And I would look at there are other people that finger paint. So I'd look at other tutorials, see how I could refine what I was doing. Learned how to mix paint because I wasted a lot of paint in the beginning to get the right colors. And then this happened. And then people started requesting, could you do a painting of my dog or my cat? Or could you do a painting of my daughter's dog that passed last year? I want it for her
Yeah.
gift. And that's when that started. And I'm still amazed that this is a thing, or that that people find joy in my work, because I don't, I just, it was just something to keep us busy, you know?
But I think that, especially with our pets are our hearts, right? And so, especially if you've lost a pet, I mean, Maya is our fourth dog. I sent you a picture of her. She's so cute. I thought,
Yeah.
maybe I should
Send
get
me
you
your
to.
address. I will send you a painting. I would love to do that for you.
I, I would love it. But so I think you're so talented. You get such a likeness. Like I look at the picture and I'm like, I just think you're amazing. You bring them to life on the.
Well, I love the process, because if you've looked at any of the pictures that I posted, they go from looking like a cartoon, and then all of a sudden you hit a point where it's like, oh, there it is, and it's like it just comes out of the canvas, and that's my exciting. I get tingles when I see it. There it is, and I usually have to send it to whoever I'm doing it for, and say, look, there's your baby, and then
Yeah, you.
find it.
So is it? I'm just curious because is it textured? It's are the
Yep,
painting have a texture to them?
they do. It's a heavy body acrylic, and I usually use it right out of the tube, so that it is heavy and thick, and I can make little dabs on my finger that you could draw an actual line with, or you can water it down and you get more of that watercolor effect, which is,
Wow.
um, or I put water on the canvas and then put the paint on. There's so many things that I've learned to do to get a different effect. But I found with the pets that, when I look at their eyes, if I can capture their eyes, um, you can bring that pet to life. It's
Yeah.
in the expression, and it's so sweet. And I've often asked people, what's your pet's name, or just so I can feel some sort of, tell me something about your pet, so that I'm working on it. It becomes, some animals are very playful and some are very dignified, and it's just fun to get and then set up the background that's appropriate for that pet. So
Wow.
it's I'm having so much fun, that when people say, how much is it for me to get a painting, I'm just told, I love what I do. If you want to make a donation towards supplies, that's fine, but I'm not doing this to make any money.
But there will be a point when everyone will want it that you're gonna have to start charging something because people
Well,
with their pets will be like, I want one, and then you know, yeah, there'll be
well,
a point
I need
maybe.
balance in my life, so I'm
Yeah.
just trying to find that balance, because sometimes I'll paint in here, and my husband will say, he'll open the door and say, we having dinner tonight? So I do have to make sure that I try to maintain that balance. But
I wonder if it's like my sister. I have a sister. I showed you the picture that my mom's an artist. People can see
absolutely.
that picture. My sister and I also did one of these chats with her, and her name's Lori Koss. She's a really well-known artist here in Kelowna. She does flat floral paintings. They're absolutely stunning. And she has a stamp for Canada because of her work and a coin for Canada.
Oh my goodness, that's amazing.
She's Lori Koss. You should look up her website. You would
I
love
will.
it. But she said that she did a pansy series. She said that when she paints, it 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 almost flows through her. Like she doesn't even sometimes um, think about the painting. It just comes out of her.
I agree. I agree.
Right?
I and that was not what art was like for me in high school. It was very technical, and this is not a technical thing. This is a just flowing through my soul, where and it just transfers onto the canvas, and it's surprisingly easy, which makes it fun.
Yeah.
It's not a chore at all.
No,
And
you have a gift. Honestly, it's incredible. I
well, thank you for saying that. I don't take myself seriously. I'm glad people enjoy it, but I yeah,
as soon as I saw some of yours, I was thinking of people that have lost their dogs. I was like, oh, like
yeah.
yeah. So
I think that's a really special thing to share with people, and I have gotten a lot of requests for that, and I definitely work with the people to make sure that the tribute that we do is fitting for that.
Yeah.
That so
Do you
sweet.
have a dog one there in your, are you?
Um, I have, well, these dogs are still with us. These are my son's dogs.
Oh, I love that. They're so good. Oh my
And
goodness.
Percy and Atlas. So when I go up to visit my son in Georgia, that will go up and hang with Zeus. Zeus is the one that they lost last year. And
Amazing.
yeah, so
So if people wanted to contact you and, find out more about your work, should they just go to your Facebook page
they
or?
can go to my Facebook page. I also, I thought that people might get tired of seeing my paintings. So I did start a separate page that's called Custom Finger Painting. That way my Facebook page, wouldn't be full of animals that other people may or may not want to look at. So you can go to my Facebook page or Custom Finger Painting. And yeah, I love to share with people. I love to do work for other people, and I make sure, like I said, that there is no charge, so that anyone who wants, their sweet pet
Oh, you're
animal,
so,
um, just just send me a message, and I'd
you're
be happy.
amazing. Oh my goodness.
That's just what we want. We're here to
To give
support you,
back.
here to share what God gave us with each other, and
Yeah,
I appreciate the opportunity, and I met
I
some really
agree.
along the way. Yeah.
I agree. And then like this with this, what I'm doing, the Compassion Project, it's so much work behind everything, but I love it. So you have to do it right for your heart, right?
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
So what will, from this whole pandemic and social distancing, what do you feel is a lesson for people to take from all this?
Well, I honestly think that this happened for a reason, and I think that um, all of us have something to learn, and it may be different for different people. Um, I've had to learn patience and learn to live in the present, not worry about what's going to happen tomorrow or the next day
Right.
or next week. Um, I walk away from the news because it's stressful. And,
Yeah, it is.
and I think that it's allowed families to spend more time together. I think there's a lot of good. The media sometimes focuses on the bad, and I
Yeah.
think so much good has come out of it. And that if we focus on that, the way our church came together for pantry,
Yeah.
there's so much good um, from something that we had no control over, and letting go of that control, handing things over to God and saying, okay, I know you've got this. um,
Right.
and
Let go and let God, they say.
absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. So that's
I agree. The present moment, being more present and more grateful for the simple things. And
absolutely, absolutely. So um, I'm blessed to have a family and everything that's come out of this. There's been it's been a blessing. So I try
yeah.
not to be negative. And then I
Yeah.
met you. That's the next.
Yes. See, I've been connected with lots of people. Maya, come here. I see my dog just showed up. Come here.
Oh,
Oh no, just waggy tail.
wag your
Anyway,
tail. I can do that real quick.
all right. Well, we're gonna sign off. I appreciate you so much coming on and sharing, and you're incredible. Maya,
Oh,
come here. Come. No, she's not coming. You're incredible, and yeah, I really appreciate you, and I can't wait to see more of your paint. There she is.
oh.
More of your paintings, and we'll get you to do one of Maya. Would you let me pick you up? I don't know. Come here, come here. Oh, look at this. See, can I say hi? Yeah.
My
Oh yeah.
need to capture that face.
Isn't she adorable?
Yes.
Come
Adorable.
on. She's adorable. Okay.
Thank
Thank you.
you, Jane.
Yeah, you're welcome. It's amazing. And we will definitely be in touch. Okay,
Thank you.
thanks everyone. Bye.
Bye.